Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'm gonna be sick. Oh, let's find out what's going on in the chart, shall we? Oh my goodness, Bitcoin. Why couldn't you just like go the other way? Why couldn't we have upward movement? Why did you have to go and do this? Right? Because now we know where it's going. And then when it gets down here, it means it's going down there to hell. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. We're going to talk about this and more in today's episode. Hopefully we can find some trades so that we can actually make some money going down. And that's what the market is telling us. And so we have to accept it. Lots of chop, lots of craziness. So we're going to try to figure out where to navigate ourselves into this trade as we are clearly seeing a downward trend. Remember, at any point in time, this could turn into, this is Bitcoin, and turn this around. So make sure you trade with a position of strength and you don't get wrecked. You do not throw too much money into the exchange or onto any one trade. So with that said, right, if you're going to trade, right, head over to the bybit.davincij15.com or femex.davincij15.com. Log in, sign up right now. Just do it right now. If you haven't signed up, do it right now. Even if you don't plan on trading, just sign up anyways under my account. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And yeah, we'll maybe one day you'll do some trades. Maybe you'll just deposit and then you leave take that small deposit bonus that you do get and only trade with that. And so yeah, it's easy trade, free trade, and you don't have to lose any money. Only what's there. Okay. With that said, let's head over to the charts, right, and see what we see here. Wow, this is not good, right? We've broken what's clearly a rising wedge here that to the downside. Now, we could see this thing come back up to here. What you could do, but because I was looking for a trade, so that we can take it further down. Unfortunately, you can see that the RSI's it is turning back up here. We can see that it is going in an upwards direction, whilst price is going in a downwards direction. So that indicates some sort of weakness, right, in the price action, the downward price action. So yeah, I'm not willing to take any kind of trade here or look for any kind of opening until maybe we get back up into to retest this trend line because of that. This is on the lower time frame, so maybe let's take a look at the higher time frames. Yes, the same sort of thing is happening, just starting at this candle on the hourly, but the 4 hours just too new, so we can't really say for sure. Let's take a look and see if we can do some fibs and see how far back up it has to return before we maybe we can catch a break here. There we go. So we could see that within a few hours time, it could head back up to 61.8 before it actually decides to roll over. So any kind of short, you should probably wait for it right there, the 61.8. You can see that there's a clear area here where we can actually come back and retest this zone, the short zone, before we go further down. Then what we can do, right, because it's close to the breakout level, you can see it's on the breakout level, you can do actually a 3-to-1 because a Davo fired here and a 3-to-1 Davo fired here. Right here, you can see it here, and you can, if we add it on, oh, there it is, it's already added. You can see there it is, it marked it right there. So if we come back up to the 61.8, which is close to the entry level for the Davo, you can see that we can take a short, which is the 3-to-1, all the way down to practically to where we're saying, hey, it's game over for Bitcoin. And then you could, take some profits here, take half off the table and watch the rest. See what happens with the rest. what generally tends to happen, of course, you know, the market will probably continue to break down. What I've seen in the past is that the market will continue to break down and then continue to break down, probably break down even further, making a new low, and then all of a sudden something crazy happens, crazy horse happens, and then we come back up, wiping out the shorts. So keep that in mind. Make sure you start adding your trailing stops along the way so that you don't get wiped out. So should we continue down and we break this level, set your stop to the full take profits there, just in case, and as it continues to trail down, so that you don't get wiped out by some crazy buyers coming in and hitting the what's it called, FOMO button, or the what's it called? They're called rage quits when it's going down, but it's a fat finger when it's going back up, going up. So somebody comes in and goes, hey, you know what? I need to buy it, so I'm going to buy it market price. There's no liquidity as it's coming down, and he buys up the whole market. So yeah. That's always a possibility when you're dealing with Bitcoin. At these price levels, I'm wondering if that's possible, right? We've seen it a lot at the lower end of the spectrum. I'm wondering if that's possible at this higher price and liquidity levels of Bitcoin. Well, we will see. We'll see. That's what I generally would see in Bitcoin. So that's what I'm that's what I'm expecting soon. But that's a trade right now. That's what I'm looking for. This thing could just drop. The bottom could drop out on this more than it. Let's say let me add in the Bollinger Band, because there's also an indicator there with the bands that helps me decide whether or not price action is going to. Oh no, it's not with the Bollinger Band. It's with the 7-day, the 13 EMA. Where is my 13 EMA? Come on, show up. Where are you? 21 EMA, candles, colored candles. No 13 EMA. Okay, well I'm gonna add this, change it to a 13 EMA. Right, because that gives me an indication of what's going to happen on the lower time frames. Yeah. So generally, with the 13 EMA, when it breaks, if it doesn't go sideways and get close to the EMA and come down, it's gonna have to do that at the lower levels. So that means more often than not, it's gonna get close to the 13 EMA and then pfft. So if it hasn't done it before, it'll do it again before. You can see that right here. You see that in this case right here. You saw it, and it came close to the 13 EMA, and then boom, down it went. Right, and so you can see that happening a lot, right? So when it gets close to the 13 EMA and then goes down up the higher levels, and then it gets closer to the 13 EMA, the odds are it's not gonna go down. It's actually gonna turn around. So that's what I'm seeing here. Now, doesn't mean it has to happen. Doesn't mean it has to happen. That's the key thing, right? That's just what I've seen, observed, right, with the market over the long term. And so I'm a little concerned about us getting back up here to the 61.8, but that's the position of strength that I'm willing to bet on. If you want to bet on a downward movement here, well, just go down to the really shorter time frames, the 5-minute, and see if you can jump on an M pattern here, which you can see it's going to be a little bit difficult because they're not gonna make this easy on you. Right here, the M pattern, I wouldn't trust taking an M pattern down here all the way down to the last wick. That would be suicide. So if we create one right here, that's the one I would take, right? I wouldn't do it down all the way down here. So yeah, that would be that. So maybe if you want, if you've got the balls and you've got the and you're willing to accept the loss because this doesn't always work, you can probably do the Hail Mary up here, Hail Mary short right here, and then take a stop loss all the way up at this level, at the last wick. So that's another option for you on a trade right here. Hail Mary short. Right, and then hey, you know what? If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. You just move on. And besides, the percentage loss, look at that. You'd have to do 100 to 1 if you only have like $10,000 in your account just to take this trade. Right, so because it's 0.18%. So yeah, it's a nice position of strength, and we're coming back up to it a little bit too fast. So it might be, I would not bother. Right, because if it's coming too fast at it, because I was expecting a little bit more of a downward and then easier up and then back up there, so before we do a 78.6. Hey, you know what? Hail Mary. I don't think this would be a good idea now that it's turning around too fast. Maybe if it comes back down a little further, and then you have to draw your fibs a little bit longer, I would go for it. But that's what I'd do. But other than that, right now, I'm a little concerned that the Hail Mary is going to work here. So my main trade right here is actually the 61.8. That's where I'm going to actually hit the short bid. Right, that's where I'm going to definitely hit the short bid if we come back up here. And if we don't, I'll just put my hands in my pocket. And that's that. All right, let's head over to Ethereum and see what we got. Look at this trend line. Remember this beautiful trend line we were looking at? We were like, oh my goodness, maybe it could hold that trend line. Or was it this one right here? Let me see here. I could have swore it was that one. Yeah, I think it was there. I remember coming down and we were like, oh, maybe it'll bounce off this trend line, and it did. And yeah, here it is, right here. This is what we were talking about, right here. See, it had like several touch points. We broke through a little bit, but then no, we kept on that trend line, and it was so steep. I didn't think it was going to hold. I really thought the short would have been up here at 61.8, but it didn't come. It didn't come to a fruition, and I would have hit the short on that one if it had right. It was a clear as day short, right? 61.8, right? From the last peak. Maybe I messed up the peak. Maybe it should have been this one, right? You see this, we already hit the 61.8. That's the thing with fibs. These levels here, each one, as you draw the fibs back up, they're all correct, right? So which fib do you want to go with, right? So I went with that one because it made the most sense, because it was a W from all of that. But this was also a W here, right? But it wasn't a clean one, that's all. So yeah, you can see that was the right 61.8 for Ethereum, and it hit it and it returned. Goodbye. So that's that. So what do we do now? Well, there's not much in the sense of a trade here. We can see that this thing's breaking down. Is it going to break down further? Well, the odds are we're probably just going to do 61.8 ping pong here. So Ethereum can't decide where to go. So odds are we're going to come back. Yep, look at that, 61.8, maybe a little bit lower to retest this area. See, this is a nice little W breakout. See if we're going to test it, and you can see the resistance level is right here, just waiting for us at the 78.6, closer to the 78.6. So yeah, maybe a possible Hail Mary trade here is something that you can consider. The Hail Mary, right? Seems like the most likely trade here on the long, because we're so close to the Hail Mary, might as well go for it. And there's lots of resistance down here, right? We've failed this resistance, we bounced off these resistance levels. So heck, Let's go for it. So I'm gonna open up a long trade right here on the Hail Mary of Ethereum in the next little while. So let's just see how that works. I'm gonna be like, Mary, Mother of God, pray for our sinners from now to the end of time. Because why is it a Hail Mary? Because generally, when you do hit that bid, market sometimes come down to you like really fast, and then boom, and you're like, what? So it's kind of scary, right? That's why I call it the Hail Mary. So, and let's just see how that rolls out in the next little while, plays out in the next little while. I'm thinking that Bitcoin and Ethereum might diverge from their paths. I think Ethereum might go up whilst Bitcoin goes down. That might also mean that the dominance will go down, as the rest of the coins will probably follow Ethereum. That would be crazy. That would be insane. If that, I mean, most people are expecting if Bitcoin goes down, also will go down. Yeah, well, expect the unexpected in this market, and you will not be surprised. And so, yeah, that's what I'm thinking is going to be happening in the next little while. All right, well, folks, we are doing this live, and we're doing this live here with a bunch of great people. We're I'm answering questions. I did a little bit of a Q&A at the beginning. And yeah, we're having lots of fun. And if you want to join in the fun, you can do so by subscribing, and you could join the fun. We do this show every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Local time here in Dubai. And yeah, we're having lots of fun here. And also I'll show you guys some extra trades and show you what I'm buying, what I'm selling, and I'll teach you a little bit of the little lady strategy. So make sure you come on down and join us down today by subscribing to DaVinci at DaVinciJ15.com, and we can all have fun together. Also, the DJ15 token. Yes, you could also watch the show live and participate with the DJ15 token. With the DJ15 token, you also get access to earn a little bit more income, because as I earn money from all my affiliate links, I buy up the token and burn them, and so yeah, that also helps. So make sure you have some DJ15 tokens if you're using any of my affiliate links, because it pays to hold the DJ15 token. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. Remember, guys, Bitcoin's real. Bitcoin's here to stay. You need to be a part of it and buy some today. Cheers.